going on?
Hi. Nothing much. It's Friday. It's Friday. It's Friday.
I know we have a lot to dig into.
Yes. Hey, Trey.
Hey, Hermione.
Oh, you're faster than me because you actually have YouTube up, don't you?
Of course I do.
Ugh.
It's just easy. It's just easier for me that way.
I don't know. Ow, my tummy hurts.
But see, the thing is, I'm talking through to you through my phone. So I have my phone
Mm-hmm.
sitting up, and then I have my monitor. I have YouTube up.
I'm officially saying I just can't stand you.
Okay, that's fine. Like, I mean, I'm sure there's a club for that. So I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Hey, everybody coming into the room. Hey, Gina. Hey, Trey, Christy, Gina B, Hermione. Welcome everybody to the room. Maria, hi. Black Lavender. Oh my gosh. I'm glad this week is over. I felt stressed out this week.
Really? Why? What's going on?
I don't know. I have a lot of reasons to be stressed out and yet none to be stressed out. Maybe I just need to increase my liquor intake.
I
I think
mean,
maybe that's it. It's the weekend. I think I'll do that.
exactly. Start the. I mean, I think you just start the. I just think you start the weekend too late. You start on Monday.
I need to start on Monday, so just never end the weekend.
Just never ending.
I don't think my budget can handle that though.
We gotta find the. You gotta find the sales, the coupons. You know what you gotta do.
I know.
Are we ready to get started though?
Yes, I'm ready.
Yes. So let's start. By the way, so since pretty much no one is watching the OC right now, we're not really going to cover it. I'll be honest, I didn't watch it because I found it unnecessary. I didn't. It was a vow renewal. We know what that means. I could just go completely past that. We're good.
I wish I didn't watch it, but I
watched
did.
It. Oh,
I watched it, but don't ask me what I watched.
Gotcha.
Like I was that interested.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. I know. I completely. I say, you know what? Maybe I should watch it for the stream, and then I realized people weren't really going to watch it anyway. I just didn't care, and I didn't care. So that's pretty much what it was. But Salt Lake City, I'm here for.
What about Potomac?
We could dive into Potomac a little bit.
I mean, it didn't have that much going on though. They're still in Portugal. Like the real action is going to happen this Sunday, in my opinion. Yeah.
You know what it was? Is like the real meat of the situation didn't happen until like the last 10 minutes when they finally got to the pool.
Yeah, and then the preview for next week where Candace is in the cat, like they're having a S&M party. I don't know.
Right.
But I see you. Where that was thrown down, so that has me thinking like everything will happen next week when, Ashley tells Candace about the statement.
Mm-hmm. Now, before we move to Salt Lake City, what are your thoughts on that?
Ashley has, if Monique asked her it's a character statement, right?
That's the way I understood it. Yes.
Right. If Monique asked her to give a character statement based on the interaction that happened at Candace's house with the butter knife or whatever, and any other interaction that she's had with Candace, I don't see why Ashley couldn't offer that, because I'm sure that if Candace asked someone to do that for her, they would have done it. I can see where people are saying that Ashley is being shady or taking a side or whatever, but she's also seeing it from the perspective of a mother. Like, Monique could go to jail. And everyone deserves the right for representation, to fight their own case and prove their innocence. If that's what Monique's lawyer thinks will help her case, why not? I'm not gonna say like how Robin said, so that's a whole character assassination that you're doing against Candace. I thought that was a bit harsh.
Mhm.
There are two sides here. They're both trying to plead their case in court. You
Mhm.
do what you have to do, what your lawyer says
Right.
is best.
Agreed.
Sorry, that was kind of long-winded and all over the place, but I'm not gonna get on Ashley for that. I'm just not. And even if it is a payback for Monique and her family saying that they didn't see something with the butt grabbing thing,
Mhm.
hey, payback is payback.
My thing is this. I agree with you. So my thing is the main difference from the main situation or how you want to put it is this. It's not like Ashley volunteered. She was asked.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I don't see a problem with it. It yes, it does come off as Ashley's doing a get back. And my thing is this: so what if she is? That's her prerogative. If she sees an opportunity to like take Candace down and she wants to take it, that's her business. Because if the shoe were like someone said in the chat, like Trey said, if the shoe were on the other foot, Robin would have done it for Giselle. They would have done it for each other. They probably
Mm-hmm.
have prepared statements at their house
Mm-hmm.
on ready. Like I got you, girl. So they need to stop.
Well, the biggest problem I had with that scene with the three of them at the pool was when Robin, I can't remember, it was either Robin, no, it was Robin who said, and you're gonna say that you were in the bathroom, right?
Right.
What are you doing?
They were trying to make it. They were trying to make it like
You know what
Ashley
it,
was. Go
you
ahead.
know what that showed me? How Giselle and now Robin try to manipulate things behind the scenes. What they do behind the camera, like, just came out in front of the camera to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would you say it in that tone? Why would you say that, period? She knew where
Right.
she was.
Exactly. My whole thing was this is like Ashley. Why would you even tell them anyway? I wouldn't have told them a thing until it came out.
I think all of those knuckleheads think that they need to tell Giselle everything that goes on. Because remember, Candace did that at the lake house. She
And
ran and told Giselle first before Ashley about her husband.
and her
Like, they
and her
all feel they have to run to her like mother hen. Oh,
and
so
her and Giselle
annoying.
weren't getting along at that point either. Giselle had just said, "I don't. We not really friends like that, no way." So yeah, they all just for some reason they all need Giselle's approval except for Karen. Karen's not here for it. She don't care. I mean, Ashley don't really seem like she care too much. I think Ashley just went and told that because production told her to. Otherwise, she wouldn't have said nothing. She would just let it all play out behind the scenes and let them find
Mhm.
out when everybody else find out.
Yeah, I just thought it was stupid. It was manipulative, and just dumb. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's all. That was my only problem with that whole show.
No, that's completely fair. That's the only thing that happened on the episode anyway. So, do you want to drop the link and we can get started on Salt Lake?
Yeah, hold on. You go ahead. Go ahead. Let me just copy this.
All right, Salt Lake City for me is really good. You know, to me, I like them. I like for the most part all the women right now. We're just getting to
Hmm.
know them. But let's start with the scene with them still talking about the fight. To me, it's not really a fight. It's insane to me that this is still going on. I understand Jen being upset with Mary. I get it, but ma'am, you are in your home
Hmm.
hosting supposedly your friend's party, Meredith's birthday party. Supposedly that's the ruse. That's the ruse she's talking about. So, and you're yelling at one of your guests. You don't do that in the middle of your home at your party where you're the hostess. You wait until afterwards.
I agree. I agree. It was that was Jen's party. That
Yeah,
wasn't Meredith's party. And she obviously lacks some hosting skills. I guess she's very, like, she has said multiple times that her auntie raised her. and she was really hurt by it, and I could understand that. But yeah, I don't think that was the time. Like, these ladies have to learn when is the time and place to have a conversation like that. And she brought that upon herself. You went up to Mary, who doesn't react like normal people and doesn't take ownership for any of her actions like normal people, and you started it. You approached her. You brought up the subject.
Right.
So don't be surprised you don't get the outcome that you want from Mary.
Exactly. I'm just laughing at Gina B's comment. Oh my goodness.
What did she say? Oh my gosh.
The one in caps.
Oh. Well, she smells like oh.
But the killing part is when Mary just like went down the stairs after her too. I'm like, for real? Like, you gonna go, like, she didn't ran off and she's having a whole moment and blah 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 blah. You gonna follow her? Okay, I guess. And then what? Who was down there? Was it Heather? Was it Heather and Meredith? Or was it just Heather?
Heather and the hairdresser?
Was it Heather? Okay, I'm like, Heather. Yeah. At that point, you're supposed to, like, look, Jen, calm it down.
But Jen did say something that was very spot on and accurate. She said that Mary's dress looked like a loofah. I've been trying to find a description for that pistachio colored mess the whole show, and that was so accurate. I have a mint green loofah that looks just like that dress, minus the sparkles.
You know what threw me off was the workout glove.
I think her hands are aging because she wears the gloves a lot, and Madonna did that when she got into her 50s. Like, you can't get surgery to make your hands look younger. It's probably like one of the only parts on your body.
Right. And, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So I think she's just trying to cover up her hands.
I can take that, but why not get like a glove that kind of matches the outfit, though? You know, like, because it's like the motorcycle, the cut off motorcycle glove with the loofah outfit.
Chanel only makes them in black.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I'm just saying that. I don't know. I don't know.
But why is she wearing like 4 different labels at one time? Is that legal?
I guess if you have the money.
I was told you don't do that. Just to give you an idea. So when I was younger, when I was working in retail, I was friendly with one of the other retail shops, and it was hilarious. So we carried all different types of brands in our pro shops. So literally a Nike representative came into her shop, saw that she had mixed Nike and Adidas on the same wall, and the little rip just fell out. They flipped out, and like, you can't do that. You can't mix brands. It's completely inappropriate. You need to fix this now. And I've always kept that in my head. I'm like, she wearing Valentino with Chanel with Louis Vuitton. I'm like, is that legal?
Well, yes. If you have the funds in which to buy all of these different brands, you can wear them however you want. However, if you are like a celebrity and you have an agreement with a brand like Dior, and they're going to be dressing you for the whole award season, then that's all you wear is Dior. You know, so you have an agreement because you're promoting their clothes for the season. Fair. But Mary ain't none of that.
But I mean, true. But I would think like these ladies have seen the other shows, you know, that they would understand they need to call Dorit. I mean, that's what I would do if I were a new housewife. I'm calling Dorit, like Dorit Bubukins, like who you go to for who's your insider for these fashions, so I can borrow them too.
I don't think these women think they need help. I think that they think they look great.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a possibility. That's a possibility. I mean,
we've got Sad Star podcast in the back room. Do you want us to bring her up?
Yes, please do. Yeah.
Hey, Sad Star.
Hi,
Hello.
Debbie. Hi, Gemma.
Hey, Sad Star.
So, did I miss something?
No, we just started off with basically the first scene, the continuation of the fight at quote unquote fight at Jen's house during her party.
Well, I haven't actually watched the that show yet, the Salt Lake City ladies. I haven't because
Mm.
I was so busy. But like, I just wanted, did you guys talk about the hospital yet? No, not the hospital, about that lady, the grandpa wife, talking about someone
Mary.
getting
Mary.
amputated. Did you
Yeah,
guys talk
Mary.
about, girl? Listen, I have met a lot of ignorant, uneducated people in my life before, including like religious people, but she's going like she's taking it there to the next level. Like some things are not meant to be said. You can say them in there in your mind, but don't say them out there in public. Do you know what I mean?
I
She,
agree.
yeah, you know, I don't want to be too harsh because as a person who, as I told everyone, I am a medical student. I've been to surgeries before. My first ever surgery that I've witnessed was actually an amputation. And
Oh,
Oh.
that thing, yeah, I was the only girl there, and I had a fight with the nurse at the beginning of the surgery because the nurse didn't want me to be there. Like she told me that it's a men's surgery, and she wants only men to go there, and I'm the only chick, so I can't enter. But I entered anyway, and I was the last to leave. So amputations, people don't understand how intense it is. Like you, I remember when I was there. Like I'm sorry, I'm talking about my experience, but like I was standing there and like something inside of me was like, no way is that old man gonna wake up without his foot and without his whole leg. And I like, and then it just hit me when they just took his whole leg and threw it in the garbage like it was nothing. So
wow.
for, yeah, it, they just threw it on the ground on like a black garbage bag.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I
Wow.
don't want to be harsh on people or Mary because I understand that not everyone knows how horrible an amputation is, especially if like if you're not the person amputating the leg and you're not the person who's getting their leg amputated, then I can understand where she's going with it. Like,
But
you
in
know,
saying that, sad star, where's her empathy? I don't
exactly, like,
have to have been amputated or know someone. Well, I do know someone who had from the knee down amputated, you know.
yeah.
But where's your empathy? She's a spiritual leader. Where is your empathy? And I think that's the most shocking part of it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
But
Hey,
Ablavi.
Bobby.
as
Hello,
I
I am so
said,
irritated. I went
hey
to
Oh,
the
Ablavi,
DMV
oh
and
yeah.
da 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 da. They signed me up for the wrong thing, so now I have to wait 2 more months and go back.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ablavi. Hmm.
What are your thoughts on to get you in a better mood? To get you in a better mood, what do you think about this whole Jen and Mary situation? Is Jen being out of control, or is she valid in the level of angst she feels?
Okay, here's the thing. Jen is ridiculous. I
Okay.
mean,
Hmm.
Jen hates Mary because I think they are battling of who could be the tackiest on on the show, and I do agree what Mary said was insensitive, but I'm not gonna lie because I have a mouth like Mary. It's like when I get mad, it's all everything is fair game. You can't
Oh,
get me, you know. And
right.
I
But
think they're shady and nice nasty to each other.
they are. But would you have reacted to the level Jen did at her own
No,
home, at her own party?
no.
Okay. I just
I
want to
just
make.
okay. I just thought she was acting very odd to Meredith, and it's very much like Jen needs like I'm sorry a side man or something.
Hmm. We're gonna get to Meredith. I was just gonna transition to Meredith. So it was very interesting to me that they're separated, but he did all the whole rose petal, blah 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 blah. I'm like, okay, but you're separated. Are you trying to win her back? What are y'all trying to do?
wait, can I talk about this? Because I heard Adam talking about it.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead.
So apparently Adam said that this might be like a thing that maybe they're married, maybe they're Maybe they're married. Maybe they haven't got divorced and this is just some sort of like storyline. Or maybe they are divorced and they're just keeping up like their face up and like trying to act really like lovey-dovey just for the cameras. Like just they're trying to show us that they're lovey-dovey, but in fact they are divorced. Do you know what I mean?
Right, but the situation, the reason I understand where you're going, but the thing that was interesting to me is this. So they're talking about it, like they're each upset with the other for certain things. Like, okay, I get that you're separated, but to me, the confessional was the most telling. When he said, "I'm not dating anyone else. I hope you aren't either," and the look on her face was like, okay. I was like, interesting. And that coupled with the fact that she did not want to give him her phone, I'm like, okay, Meredith, I see you, I understand.
But they're
But
separated.
Oh.
Why should she give her?
So like
her?
wait, is this the type of separation where he's like, we're divorced, like I'm separated from me, but like I'm single and you're single, so we're still gonna bang?
no,
This is the type of vibes I'm gonna get.
no, they're separated. They're not divorced yet. He's spending more time in Chicago. She has to stay in Utah for her businesses. But sir, you're complaining about being undersexed, but you're spending the most of your time in Chicago. What do you expect her to do? She wants him. She wants him there. That's her biggest complaint. But he wants to stay in Chicago because of work. Okay, I get that, but you can't get sex if you're in Chicago. Well, at least if you're not getting it from somebody else.
So he doesn't want her to have sex with someone other than him.
Correct.
See,
That's selfish.
The thing is, I don't think they've legally filed a separation agreement. Like they aren't legally. I think they're just emotionally separating.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the time that they need to try and be together and get some sort of like couples counseling if they want to keep their marriage together. I think where his name is Seth, right? Where Seth is coming from is that because she's not giving him sex, because she won't let him in to her phone, he feels like she's not even in the marriage anymore. You see, like I don't even think she cares whether he's there or not.
Well, where I'm from, there's no such thing as separation. It's either you're together or you're divorced, period.
Oh,
so
gotcha.
Yeah, it is how it is, like from where I'm from. If you don't like each other that much, you might as well just get a divorce. Everyone can just go their own way and bang whoever they want to bang. It's legal, everything is fine. But this whole thing, it's like, is it real? I'm starting to wonder. Like, I think it's a storyline. Who knows?
Blobby, what are you thinking?
You picked the wrong time to ask her.
Well, I was not paying attention.
I was you know what the thing is with Meredith, I can't really understand her yet. And that son of hers, woo, danger. His mouth. See, this is the problem with her son. And this is what I don't like about these shows. Everybody says don't go after children, but he's grown and he's coming at Jen like a grown man. So if she checks him like a grown woman, I don't want to hear, "Oh, that's my child."
Right. Because I was thinking about that last night. I'm like, sir, stop it. Because my thing is this. Most, like, in Utah, they think Jen is black. I'm sure we've adopted her. I'm like, sir, have you not heard?
No, we adopt her. No.
Well, some of us have. I'm like, sir, have you not heard of Black Twitter? Quit playing. Stop it. Don't do it.
My whole problem with Brooks is that, in my opinion, Brooks is trying to get a snowflake. I think Meredith is on this show to promote her store and her jewelry line.
Yeah, of course.
And to set up Brooks in a clothing collection or line or whatever it is that he's planning to do. When in truth, in fact, and also be an influencer.
Yeah, he'll be on TikTok soon if he's not already there.
I don't think it's very genuine, and I think her husband is taking it to heart that she's putting her son before her husband.
That's a fair
because
point.
she's investing more time into Brooks than she is in trying to save her marriage.
Right,
Okay,
but
we gotta have another talk.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta talk about Mary. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Can we talk about that kitchen?
you were, yeah,
I
I
heard
heard
your
you
comment.
right. You were,
Yes, you are very correct.
yeah, you were. I had to go back and relook at the kitchen. I'm like, you know
Mm-hmm.
what? She ain't
Mm-hmm.
This is
lying
the
about the little
problem, right?
kitchen.
If you broke like the rest of cool, because my lit kitchen looks tore up too. But you best believe if Bravo cameras came around, I would have to do a Reddit center or something and get this kitchen together. Because I am
Mm-hmm.
tired of being I mean, like, it wasn't a bad kitchen, don't get me wrong. It just needed remodeling. And she
Mm-hmm.
is so tacky. Like, she must be related to Giselle, how tacky she is.
What
I
do you
told
expect
y'all.
from a lady? What would you expect from a lady that married her own grandpa? Come on now.
No. And that
Come on.
storyline was BS too. She gonna
What?
say her grandmother
Willed,
arranged marriage.
willed, no, willed the blondie,
Will
willed,
willed
Will?
her to her great
willed.
grandfather. You know what? I don't know, and she's making black people look back, and I'm here to say that's not for me. I don't know nobody that they was humping on their grandmother's husband. Like, he slept with your grandmother, that he's gonna sleep with you? Absolutely not.
But I'm already seeing the inconsistencies of Mary's story with regards to her and her husband. Because at first they said she was willed in the grandmother's thing. She was willed. Then she said, my grandmother made it implicitly clear that I was supposed to marry him. Then there was some other talk. Then he said, yeah, meaning his first wife, said that I should marry one of the girls. And then she said that her mother really wanted granddaddy, but was mad because she got her. I'm
Well,
like,
no, that's
what?
not what she did. She married her grandfather because she wanted a bigger stake in her will. So apparently, her mother still owns half the church.
But
Right.
so if
'Cause-
her mother owns half the church, that means she wanted 100 or at least 75% of it if she married her mother's
Yeah,
second
because
husband.
she gave half to her daughter and
Mhm.
half to her husband. So so Mary has siblings. So yeah,
So based on just real
That's
quick, so
horrible.
so based on this article I just found, basically it's weird. Mary says we were kind of I would say an arranged marriage. It was kind of in my grandmother's will for us to marry.
No, it wasn't.
Robert Senior backed up his wife and shared how his late wife told him to marry her granddaughter to ensure his well-being after she died. She said, "If anything ever happens to me, Bobby, I want you to marry one of my girls because they'll look out for you," which is fairly consistent with what the cousins said on Tasha K. There's a few little details here and there that are different, but that's along the lines because there was like some secret meetings that were going on. Half the
But
family was for it, half the family was against it. So
Jamal,
I
that's
have a
not an
question.
arranged marriage. Like you said so
no,
many different things there.
she
I
she
have a
said,
question.
go ahead.
Go ahead, go
For
ahead.
for every lady over here, like, I just want to ask you a question. Let's put ourselves in Mary's shoes. Would your grandma put you in such a situation if this whole story was even real?
well, the problem with the story and why it doesn't make sense is because Mary was already married. That made
Right,
no sense.
right.
Wait,
And then the step grandpa threw him out of the church.
Hmm. I mean, listen, I think Mary did it for her money, and I'm not mad at her
Right.
because that's how she is. That's the kind of human being she is. But that church scene it was with the problem I saw with Salt Lake City when I heard it. That reminded me of being a little girl and going to my grandmother's church. It was
well,
so how to say this
oh,
nicely. It was so realistic, and it was so this religion part about it is going to be very interesting, and we're going to have to be very careful, particularly with Mary, because I think they're going to go after her with knives.
You mean the scene in episode 3 where
Hmm.
Meredith, Whitney, and Whitney's dad came?
Yeah.
I found that really interesting. I'm not a religious person at all. So I've never been to a Pentecostal church. I've been to an Anglican church. I've been to a Catholic church. So it interested me to just see like all of the music and the sermonizing. And then she specially went over to them and prayed for her father. Like that was interesting to me, but before I made any sort of judgment on it, because I'm so unfamiliar, I would want to see like the whole thing, because I'm sure a whole lot more went on than the 5 minutes they showed us.
They were probably there for a couple of hours too. Yeah.
I agree.
Hours. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, when you go to black church, it's all day.
Yeah, it's you have Bible study, which is 2 hours. Then you have the main.
Is there a bar?
No, you have like the main service, which can last between 1.5 and 3 hours, and then you might take an hour break, then come back from the revival from like maybe 5 to 8. Yeah,
I went to an African church before once, and with a friend, and I went there like I arrived at 9 in the morning and I left at 8 p.m. So, is it usually like that?
Depending on the church, yes.
No, this is what you do. When you go to a black church, you only go to the morning service.
Yeah.
Do not go to the afternoon service. You will be there all day. You go to the
Nah, girl, they didn't stop. They just continued from the morning to night.
No, they stopped, but you just didn't know when they stopped. They have morning, then they have Bible study. Then they have but they don't stop. So you have to know when to stop.
So you don't take a break for lunch?
Well, most
they
churches give
did,
you a
but
break.
like they did, but I was like busy talking with the preacher. She was such a nice lady, and like I couldn't even eat, and like I just after the break I was just like sitting there hearing her like preach and stuff, and then I don't know, man, I don't know. But about Mary, I just want to say something. I was gonna say that about her empathy and being a preacher is what like she's supposed to be really like nice and stuff. I was gonna say that she's a stupid preacher. That's what I was gonna say. But at this point, I think after I heard what you guys have said, I think she's just a snake. Period.
Well, but with preaching, this is the thing though. Like Mary and doing all of this, she's not going to lose anybody from her church because they know who Mary is. And
exactly.
A lot of black churches feel you should give your money to the church. I mean, listen, church is a come up. It is you can be a millionaire just by being a preacher. Your church will pay for everything. They will give you luxury cars, planes, luxury houses.
And then give you a salary.
That's not uncommon.
And then give you a salary on top of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So but people keep focusing on the church, and I understand it's a big part of it, but we also have to realize how many businesses that church actually owns, which fall under the church. That's what people.
But yeah, it's a listen. Her grandmother was very smart.
Yes.
Mary did very well for herself. But the problem with Mary is these fashions. We got to get into these fashions. Is how disrespectful and rude she is, and she knows she's being rude. Mary could chime it down. It doesn't. I've always said sometimes it's just easier to apologize to somebody so they would shut up.
It is.
Mm-hmm. True.
It is.
But Jen is bothering me because Jen is exhibiting habits I don't like. The first thing Jen did. Why is it that Meredith needs to be her best friend? Why is it that Meredith has to have a sleepover with you? And I really wanted to know because I didn't see Jen's vagina. Was it out?
No, it wasn't.
No.
It was close, but it wasn't out.
And that's part of my frustration with Brooks, because that was a non-issue, but you tried to turn it into one as if you were a housewife and you're not.
Like he's looking for it, but to me, like the way she was, I don't think a grown woman with children would be disrespectful of someone else's child. I'm like, sir, like if you were that uncomfortable, you would have gotten up right away, but you sat there the whole time.
Someone said it earlier. I think he was more offended by the grinder
comment.
Because has anyone said that this young man is gay?
No.
I think that was the problem. And I also have a problem with a child trying to parent their parent unless there is a medical situation.
Well, but you know what's interesting? Because, like, I can't speak for the parent side. Your relationship does change with your parents once you do become an adult. The issue with Brooks is he has something that I don't like in men. When because this normally happens with single mothers, not all the time, but it's almost like you're dating your mother and y'all have this weird relationship, and anybody trying to get into that relationship is seen as like, die. I just think their closeness, they need like maybe 6 feet. Let's veer off a little bit, because he acts like her man.
Yeah, he's very protective. He's the one who did all the flowers and made sure it was perfect and the rain and blah blah blah. So I get it, but I agree with Debbie. The grinder comment was what offended him. If someone's vagina was in your face and you're not interested, you're gonna walk up and leave. If we're being honest,
But we don't know if he's gay. He could be bi.
I'm just saying if he was if he were really offended, he would have walked up and left. Is what I'm saying.
He's super jealous. Like, he's super jealous of Jen, and I'm like, why? Like, it's like a fight for his mother's attention.
I think it's more a fight for camera time.
And then we have to talk about Heather. Oh God, she was
she's growing on me. She's growing on me.
You know what? She was funny with Lisa Barlow, but she was very boring in this episode. I'm sorry. I do not have a thing for children. I am tired of seeing baby showers. Nobody is pregnant.
But you have to admit, like 5 women, first time pregnant, and all having boys out of her 20 employees, that was a lot.
Exactly. I'm like, you got to replace a quarter of your staff.
Well, I'm not that much into the maternity thing either. Sorry if I offended anyone. But I just saw the odds of that happening in a business to be like astronomical. So I said, okay, I'll give it a pass.
But she's interesting. I mean, listen, again, we have to get Terry on Botch to fix these faces. I cannot.
I agree with you, but did you see one of her confessionals where she was in the silver sequins gown and like the filler in her lip had deflated and she looked a whole lot better? Like, I think all of the fillers in her face and her lip had dissolved and she didn't look as harsh, or she reminds me of Herman Munster, but yeah, like she didn't look as harsh. When she goes and gets plumped up to look like Jen, that's where she veers way off course. If she would go back to her uninflated self, she would look a lot better.
She looks horrendous.
Jen Shaw looks like every single Russian girl that had botched plastic surgeries for cheap here in Russia. Like seriously, she's just wow.
With me,
I think she did her Botox with like $5 and that's it. Probably.
My whole thing is this: why are they contouring Jen's cheeks when she doesn't need it? She doesn't need her cheeks are pronounced, so she doesn't need the contouring.
I told you this earlier. I don't think, sorry about that, Ablavi, but I don't think her makeup artist understands how to do makeup for high definition television filming. I think she looks great in front of him. Oh, you look fabulous, girl. But then when she gets in front of the cameras, it's just like, boom, it's just too much. And to me, I'm going to age myself. She looks like Madam from Waylon and Madam, the puppeteer guy.
Yeah, I know exactly. Waylon and Madam. Yes.
Yeah, she looks like Madam.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
I understand where you're coming from, that maybe it's the makeup and it's horrible because I just saw a picture of her in makeup here. But let's just remove the makeup and it's just her face. I think her face is doing her a disservice at this point. Honestly, like she should go and melt the 1,500,000 pounds of Botox in her fillers in her cheeks. Because no, honey, no.
True.
I think it's too much in her lips,
Mhm.
It's too much plastic, and then Jen looks very, I won't say, she's very petite, as you can see, and it's like, no, just a little, like, do 50% less.
Mm. So, moving topics, I have a question. So, why do we think that Jen? Actually, let me take it away. Let me take it away from Jen because we talked about her a lot. I want to shift to Lisa Barlow
Mhm.
and
Hmm.
her like little shenanigans. What are we thinking about Lisa at this point?
I can't really get a good vibe on Lisa because I think Lisa, I hate to say this, but I don't really see a queen bee on this show. I think Lisa's trying to be, but she's not interesting enough on the show. That's
Mhm.
why her and Meredith are so interchangeable because they're both very boring. And Lisa, I don't really know what she does. Well, I know what she does, but I have yet to see anybody but Heather working. And Lisa puts up this front like she's this businesswoman. She's raising these children. She's from New York. She is fashion. She is society. I just don't see it with Lisa.
Oh, okay. Here's the thing with Lisa, and I had to really think about this. So, Lisa is very interesting in the fact that for someone who was a Mormon convert, she has this very like snotty attitude, haughty attitude, you could say, which is why I think her and Whitney become at odds because Whitney was born into that life and she was excommunicated and people turned her back on her. So Whitney just strikes me as that someone who's looking to get approval from a group, and Lisa just has to be part of that group. So I think that's, to me, from what I can see, what I'm gathering, that's where they clash, is because Lisa is trying to be the perfect Mormon. She's like, you do this, and this is what you do. And she's a convert, whereas Whitney was just kind of kicked out where she was royalty. Her family was royalty. So it's just a very interesting dynamic between
But
those two.
I don't think Lisa can be the perfect Mormon.
She
She
doesn't,
owns a liquor label. Like, she's
but
not.
to her, but even in the first episode, she said that doesn't matter.
And that's why I think she uses the religion to conveniently look her nose down on other people. She picks and chooses the parts of that religion that
Hmm.
can allow her to feel superior to others.
I can see that. I
Hmm.
can see that, and I think with Whitney, we have to remember it's a little bit more difficult than Heather, because yes, Heather's divorced, but Whitney was an adulteress, and she got divorced, and she married the person she had an affair with. So for her, it's probably triply tough.
I'll throw this out to you, Jamal, as well. I think Lisa's main problem with Whitney and why she always goes after Whitney with her snide little comments is that Whitney is everything that Lisa will never be in the Mormon church. Whitney has the heritage, the
Hmm.
family, like even her first marriage I think was like a great pairing.
Right.
So even though she's been excommunicated, she has everything that Lisa will never achieve as being a convert.
Agreed. That's why she also has issues with Heather then,
Mm-hmm.
because Heather and Whitney are cousins.
Yep. And they both come from like original Mormon families.
Correct. I definitely, that's the way I'm choosing to look at it,
Mm-hmm.
because Lisa should not have the attitude she has towards Whitney and towards Heather. Because Whitney, she goes after Heather. She's dismissive. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, I wonder if it's just that way of thinking, or if there's more to Heather and Lisa that we don't know yet.
There's
I
more
think
to
there's
it.
more.
I think
Yeah.
I think with Lisa, you have to remember, comes from New York, and she has, even though I'm from New York too, she has that attitude like, I'm from New York. Where else can I live in the best. And I think because of her brashness and her New York attitude, she's been able to achieve a lot, because it seems like Lisa knows the celebrities. Lisa can get you into all the great parties and stuff like that. And I think that she has like this, these two things. Like she's Mormon, and she knows that because she has Mormons, the more because she has money, the Mormons were a little bit more accepting her jobs than they were of Heather and oh my God, Whitney.
Mhm.
But I think too, Lisa, I think she does want to be in the royalty because I mean, who wouldn't? There's a hierarchy system. But I think the real issue she has with Whitney and with Heather is that being seen with them is is pushing her down because she doesn't have enough room in the Mormon church. She doesn't have enough elasticity because they have been either excommunicated or they divorced somebody high in the church, and Lisa's pretty much on the bottom as well. She doesn't want to be referred to them. She wants to climb up.
I also want to delve deeper into Lisa and her sister and Lisa's husband because
Before that, can I just? I'm sorry to
Mhm.
interrupt you, Debbie. I have to go, guys, because my doctor is
Okay.
calling me.
Oh
But
dear.
before I go,
Mhm.
I just wanted to invite you guys because in 2 days on Sunday I have a live stream on my channel, and I have this game prepared with my audience, and I just wanted to invite you guys. It's a 90-day fiance game, and it's probably gonna surprise everyone. So I hope to see you then.
Ooh. We'll tune in
Yeah.
for sure. Is it?
Okay.
It's on Sunday.
Yes, it's on Sunday. I think I will tell you the exact time tomorrow. I will tell Jamal, and I hope he tells you guys. And I'll see you. I'll see you then.
And let us know
So
where to find you. It's just Sad Star Podcast. We can look that
yeah,
up in the search star. Okay. All
yep.
right.
My channel, Stat
Perfect.
Star Podcast, and I have to go now. Bye
All right,
bye.
dear.
Thanks for having me.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
I want to explore the relationship because I want to know if Lisa's sister was with Lisa's husband first before Lisa got him. Because she said something like, "My sister
Yeah.
liked him." I wanna find out more about that. Just to
Listen,
be
anybody who
shady.
doesn't bring their family on is hiding something. So it's
True.
going to be interesting because even with Whitney, I don't know
Mhm.
if her mother is excommunicated from the church. Like they're being really hit and miss with this Mormon, and I gotta like investigate because I'm thinking her mother's not excommunicated, but her father is.
Well, she said, okay, so when she married the second guy that she had the affair with, she said the majority of her family stopped talking to her because she was excommunicated.
Mhm.
And then the mother and father had the divorce, and then he went on his addiction path. Is he excommunicated too? Yeah, right?
Yes, because of his addiction. Yes.
I'm assuming that the mom is still like in good graces with the Mormons. And
Well,
it's just
it
those
was
two.
interesting, but Whitney, we have to talk about her too.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of 20s party was that? It was so
Right.
ratchet. What kind of stripper was that? It was. I was like, I would never go and see no stripper like that. And then Lisa Barlow. Well, every time I see her, she likes strippers. Lisa, shut up. You're from New York. Shut up.
What does she mean by that? Like,
Because Whitney
maybe
has,
this was before filming. I don't know.
because Whitney has stripper pole, at her vow renewal party.
But Lisa did not accept the invitation to go. So
Well,
why would she even bring that up?
but Lisa said she wasn't invited.
Because
So
She
it's
was
saying like
invited.
she's like
she
sex.
she's
She's like it's people see strippers as low class, and it's that class thing with Lisa. If you're not in her class, she doesn't want to associate with you.
true. I can see that. But Debbie, go real quick.
Yeah.
Did Lisa say she was invited? Did Whitney say she invited her? Because I didn't hear Whitney say she invited her, and Lisa said she did invite her.
All those ladies were invited. All of
But
them.
but then why would Lisa say she wasn't invited though?
Because she likes to shade Whitley, whatever the hell her name is.
Whitney,
Yeah.
gotcha.
She likes to shade her. And that's why I think she's lying about the beverage. If you could lie about an invitation, you're lying about your beverages, and you know that you sent the most ratchet bartenders there. Like you did not send over enough tequila for 500 people. No one donates that much for a little dinkity donk wedding. She's
But
lying.
you know what? I'm I like the bones of this show, but we got to switch it up a bit. We have to get somebody because they say that the Vanderpump Rules cast is coming, so it's going to be interesting to see when they come on the show.
Wait, Vanderpump Rules is coming on Utah?
Mhm.
What
Yeah,
for? How?
because Lala and oh my God, what's the girl? Katie. They're originally from Utah. Yeah.
Oh, that should be interesting.
Hey Debbie, can you
The
can,
show is the
hey,
problem
De-
with this show is too many people who are new. I need somebody that I know. Go on,
What
Jamal.
was that, Jamal?
I was just gonna say, can you drop the link for Got the Tour?
Okay, here we go. Base.
I just can't. I can't with this. I can't with how. I can't with these these plastic surgery nightmare woman. I need somebody on this show who just looks regular, and I can't with the whining and crying with Jen. And I really want to like Mary, but she's so rude.
I think with Jen, I want Jen to reel it in a little bit because she's just being a little bit ridiculous. Even though her initial feelings are fair, but it's like, ma'am, it's not that deep like that. I mean, I would not approach you that way. At my own house, I would handle you at maybe Mel's Diner or something. I'll get you then, or I get you on the slopes. And can we talk about the slopes a little bit? Can we talk about Mary being late, waiting for her Chanel to arrive? Are we serious?
You know what I think Mary does? You know that thing online where you can rent clothes and then you send them back. You can rent
Oh,
designer clothes and then
Yeah,
you send them
yes.
back. That's what I think Mary is doing.
True, because I don't think she has a stylist, because that would have never happened if she had a stylist.
but I think it was I want to say it was Funky Dineva for some reason. Like basically, she was flying to Italy like on the church's dime, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah, but you would
Yeah.
do that. I think she buys bags because they have value. But I'm
Hmm.
saying those clothes she buys, I don't
Okay.
think that she owns them. I think she
So
rents them.
got it. So you're saying she goes to Italy to buy the bags and stuff because they have value and can increase in value, but you rent the clothes because they depreciate.
Yeah.
Okay, I could see that. Hey,
Hi everyone.
Kakatua.
Hi, get it to us.
Hello.
Sorry I'm late.
Oh no, better late than never. Did you watch Salt Lake City?
Oh yes, I did. And I don't know. I might repeat a bunch of things you've already discussed about, but first of all, who donates that much alcohol and you intend to be in business? Unless you just don't believe in your product.
Right. I said that when she said I said enough alcohol to
For
like
1,500 people?
for 500 people. I'm like,
I,
ma'am, let me give you my work address. Hold up. If you
yeah,
giving away like that,
because I have an event company and I'm trying to do the mathematics and it's not adding up. Like if I was
Mhm.
to do that, if I was to donate for 500 people, I won't be able to pay anyone else. Then
Yeah.
two,
mhm.
how do you not have professional service? And then you want to be mean about it when someone tells you, um, your bartenders got all drunk and stuff, so you need to check on it. Dude, because you've donated, then you should have kept your bartenders at home with you. Then you party with them. They didn't have to come to my party and make it déclassé and whatnot. That was weird for
I have a
me.
quick,
I
I have a quick question. Quick question on that. Do we think that let's go with my theory that says that Lisa wasn't invited. Was Lisa being messy by sending her worst bartender since she wasn't invited?
That's a vibe I got. Like if you
Okay.
cannot have me, if you cannot have me there, then I'm gonna leave a mark on your party so that people can talk about your party. But then I also felt Whitney kind of like she could have just made her point and go like, I did not appreciate you. I appreciated the alcohol, but I didn't appreciate your bartenders, and leave it at that. She didn't have to go to the extent of, oh, they even touched my expensive whiskey. Then write her a bill and tell her this is the whiskey they consumed. Here is the bill. Please pay me back.
But the thing is, if you have a bartender and you don't like them, why didn't you just dismiss them? I'm not having
Exactly.
nobody in my house who I don't want.
But you need to remember, Blavi, it was her party. When it's your party, that's why most people will hire a party planner, because you can't be at all spaces in all the time. By the time it gets to you that shit has hit the fan, it's a bit too late. The damage is already done for your party.
True.
Yeah.
So I
But the
think she
party
should have.
didn't seem so formal. The party, I mean, at least what I saw, it seemed very chilled and very relaxed.
It did, yes. It did it did seem like an easy party, but once the alcohol kicks in, easy tends to turn to a bit messy, especially if you're having the service being drunk. So it means me as the guest, I will not be able to get my alcohol on time, so I'll become cranky and I'll cause a scene and whatnot. That's what I think. I felt that was just a bit too weird for her. Like, don't even send the alcohol anymore.
See, Jamal,
But
this is how I see that whole situation. I think Whitney invited Lisa, and Lisa said, "Oh my God, I'm busy. I have another commitment. But what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna hook you up with a tequila bar, and I'm gonna send you 2 bartenders as my gift. Mazel tov." And I think that's what she said. And then she systematically went and got her worst bartenders and said, "I never liked you anyway." And I believe that the tequila did run out at 6 o'clock, because I think she shortchanged the tequila, because like what Gatatua says, nobody is sending tequila, just one particular type of liquor, for enough for 500 people. And I don't think she had 500 people at her event. Why would you do that? You know exactly how many people are there. Why would you send, like if she had 100, that was a lot. But if she had 100 people at her event, why are you sending for 500 people? It doesn't make sense.
And right, I know definitely. I'm like, you sent that much alcohol, but Whitney said they ran out at 6 o'clock. Something not adding up.
Sometimes you can run out of alcohol at earlier than you intended, because now everyone wants that instead of what every other alcohol you have. It can happen. But I'm wondering how her business is running. She's giving out alcohol for 500 people, and it's only one brand. If she was giving different kinds of alcohol like tequila, wine, whiskey, and whatnot, that can be explained. That can make sense. But just one type, for tequila, and she's expecting to be in business.
Yeah.
No, makes sense. Was there anything? I'm trying to think. Was there anything else noteworthy that happened between the 2 episodes besides the skiing? That dinner was kind of a mess. We can talk. Oh, we can talk about that dinner.
You don't think they ganged up on Lisa?
Yeah, that was a mess.
I don't think they were ganging up on her. I think this is two people were coming from a point of, I don't like you, but I want to like you. And that was Whitney and what's her name? Keep forgetting then.
Heather.
Yeah. They were coming from that point of, I don't like you, but I'm trying to get to like you. And I don't like you. Yeah.
You said that there were 2 people coming at her. I would give you that there were 3 people coming at her, because it was Mary that started that whole mess.
I don't even think I'm going to talk about that woman. Every time she speaks, she makes me cringe. Yeah, I feel sick. She gives me the hospital vibes.
Oh no, don't do that. Don't do that. No more hospital vibes.
So do we think my thing is that, do we think their criticisms were fair? From my vantage point, I think Whitney's is very understandable. I get it, but Heather, like you keep harping on this. Either you're going to pull Lisa aside and talk to her, just have it out, or you're gonna shut up at this point. 'Cause I'm tired of hearing about like, oh, she said she doesn't know me. Oh, she dismisses me. Well, ma'am, she's not feeling you. Let it go.
Yeah, and I don't know what's wrong with these women and wanting to be acknowledged. How old are you? If I choose not to know you, it's okay. Maybe I just don't like you and I don't want to be associated with you, or I don't want anyone to say we have known each other, or I don't want to rehash our past. Let's not talk about it. If I say I don't like you, I don't like you. If I say I don't know you, play along. We don't have to know each other because we are not BFF.
No, but they're passive aggressive. Passive aggressive people do that. When people are passive
And
aggressive,
also,
they're like, oh. And I think, okay, it was funny with the ski slopes because I kind of think Mary is the one that likes to start mess in the group.
Yeah,
mm-hmm,
Jen, they
yeah.
like the
mm,
starters. They the bone collectors. They see
Mhm.
something tense, and then Mary's up front. Lisa's up front for the most part, but even with Heather, I don't really understand why she's getting so upset with Lisa because what Lisa says about her is true. You are tacky.
yeah, I think Mary first of all needs to stay out of people's business. If it does not involve you, stay out of it. Because when it was her problem with Jen, and she was like, "I just want to be over it. I just want to get over this." She didn't want to discuss it in details. She didn't want to get into the details and into the nitty-gritties of why she said such mean comments. And if you notice, she did not apologize. There was no apology there. She actually manipulated the whole entire situation to make it seem like, can we just get over this? We are at a party. Are we
But the
good?
prop
Can we
no, that
move
was
on?
Jen's fault. That was Jen's fault because Jen, this is what I will give clarity to Mary. Mary will say whatever she feels to your face. Jen will not. So Jen builds up and she got mad because she waited till Mary wasn't there and was like, "Oh, can you believe she didn't did this? Why would Mary do that?" And she has a problem with Mary. So tell Mary.
I think she did that because a few of the people who were there. Okay, you see, when you're having when if I was to have an argument with you, Ablavi, and I'm with Debbie and Jamal, I want them to be on my side. So I will go talk to them on the side and maybe add in a pinch of salt here and there to the story. Then when you come into the dynamic, I'm sure you've also talked to them on the side. So I want to see who's going to be on my side. So when now we are meeting, I feel like I have backup from these two people who might necessarily back me up or not. So
Mm.
what I feel is the discussion from the dinner shouldn't have been discussed at the dinner. One,
Mhm.
the Mary discussion was okay to be discussed because she kept on saying, I said it. She was not remorseful about it. And she had been told about it before. And she's like, so what's the problem? I said it. If she had not been told before that whatever she said was not correct, then I would say they should not have had that discussion with the group.
Hmm.
But because it was discussed before with the group, then it was okay. But this one, when they were discussing with Lisa, especially with Heather and Lisa, they should have taken it somewhere else. They should have been the two of them try to figure out, can we be friends or not, and if we can't, can we just be cordial with each other and work together? That's it. That's what I.
Exactly. Hey guys, we've hit our hour, but I do want to hit on one more topic, and this, for me, the one that stood out was Jen wanting her friends to pick between her and Mary. What are your? I want to hear from each of you your thoughts about that.
Ablavi, please go ahead.
Okay. I think that's childish. I
Mhm.
think I think it's real petty. It's very like it's very junior high school. Um the problem with Jen, and this is my biggest issue, is she can't stand alone for whatever reason. And that's fine. But if Meredith is grown, right? If Meredith doesn't want to hang around you, there's no conversation. I just don't want to hang around you. And I think that she needs to stop taking her issues out on Meredith that she has with her husband and being lonely. I just think Jen needs either a new husband or maybe it's her father and he recently passed, but she's mad at something else and she's creating havoc in the group because of it.
I feel the same. I think there's something a bit off with the dynamics of their relationship. And so she's trying to find somewhere to release her stress and frustrations. But sometimes you can get the right person to do that with, and you can see a couple of times Mary's becoming the person because she just put herself in those positions that don't even make sense. I, I've tried to like her, but I can't. I have really tried, but I feel there's something we're not being told about the whole family and the dynamic of that family because even when they're at home, it just seems a bit off. It doesn't seem like a typical husband-wife relationship. I don't know how I can explain that.
Debbie, what are your thoughts?
Um, I left school a long time ago. I thought Jen demanding that if I'm not friends with her, then you can't be friends with her was utter BS. I agree with Hermione on that. Um, all of these people need to learn how to handle conflict like adults. And
All
that's
right.
it.
All right. And I agree with all of you. It's petty. I'm like, are you serious? I agree. And like, it's bad when Whitney's making the most sense. Like, there's no side. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
But that also tells me there's more to the Jen and Mary situation that we know, and I want to see how that plays out because you just to me like your reactions is not proportionate to the situation. Like
Yeah.
you're way too mad at this woman to it just be about this. There has to be more.
Jen is like a
Maybe
dog
she
with a
slept with her
bone.
husband.
Oh,
Uh,
whoa.
no, no, like maybe her husband and Mary dated back in the day.
Who, Sharif?
Yeah. Maybe you never know. You never know. You never know what Mary was back in the day.
God,
Well,
we don't
no,
even know what she is now.
no, I was saying that for Lisa and Meredith. I mean, not Meredith, Lisa and Heather.
Heather.
And Heather.
No,
Yeah,
Lisa.
I think also
Maybe
that
she slept
dynamic
with
also is a
Heather's
bit weird.
husband before.
I'm saying, oh yeah, I also think that dynamic is a bit weird because, first of all, I didn't get the whole drama because if I say you were the party girl in school and if you were or you weren't, you can easily just say like an adult, I'm not, or I wasn't, or I was, and that was me then. It doesn't have to be a big deal. It's not like I've said you Satan incarnate. I've just said you used to party.
Well, guys, it was a great talk. I will see you
Yes.
this week. Happy
Yep.
Thanksgiving for those I don't see. We'll have off next weekend. And have a good one, everybody. Bye.
You too, Blobby.
You saw
Happy
that.
Thanksgiving, Ablavi. I don't know. The more that I watch this show, the more I can see the women who are on the show to promote a business, a product, a line, or something like that, and then the ones who are backbiting each other to be the queen bee of the show. They're separating to show who's doing what.
Right.
I mean, I love it, except for this childish bit about you can't be friends with her if I'm not friends with her. Like, I expect a little bit more from House.
Right. I think they're painting the way I'm seeing it is they're painting Lisa and Mary as like the quote unquote villains. Whitney's gonna be the pot stirrer. Jen's gonna be like quote unquote
Drama queen.
vying for the throne.
The
Um,
dealer.
who else is left? I forget.
Heather.
Uh-huh.
Heather. Heather's just gonna be like the calming, whiny, thirsty force, which is fine. We need every franchise needs one of those.
I see Heather as emotional roadkill if she's not
Mm,
careful.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay. And did I miss anybody?
No, you got everybody.
I got everybody.
Mm,
Okay. I think that's how
yeah.
it's, I think that's how editing is playing the Housewives. That's how I see their roles in the role of the franchise. And I will say this live: people watch for this. I like Whitney's giving me Ashley Darby season 1.
I like her a lot.
Um,
I do.
I would say Lisa is giving me Erica Gerard. Like, she doesn't care. If you don't like me, don't like me. But I have a business. I'm doing so well, so she wants to rub her business and everything on your face, but she doesn't care what you have to say in return. That's what I think she's giving me.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, but just keep a watch out for Whitney's Ashley Darby season 1. She's gonna be the pot stirrer. She's just gonna be like kind of like the youngish like energy, but she's just going to start some mess. So I'm kind of looking forward. I'm looking forward to her.
Yep.
Yeah, true. And then I think Jen is giving me sorry to
Desperate.
say this.
Who?
Jen is Jen. Jen is giving me a mixture of no one come for me, please don't come and kill me. But she's giving me a mixture of if you put Nini and Kenya together, like you can if I'm not friends with that person, we can't be friends with that person. But I also want to be the leader and the queen and the everything.
I can see the Nini comparison.
Yeah, so that's where I can see her. I'm not seeing Kenya the messy type bit of Kenya, but Kenya the bit of I'm the queen and you need to remember I'm the queen. But the Nini bit of yeah, I'm the queen and whatnot, but also if I'm not friends with someone, you can't be friends with someone. That's how I feel.
I can
With
see that.
regards to Jen, this is what I feel like. I might not smell hospital, but I smell desperation. So I'm feeling Vicky Gunvalson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm the OG of the SL. I can see her saying I'm the OG of the SLC. I can see her saying
Mhm.
something
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I see
Mary,
that.
I don't know. I wouldn't know where to place her.
The villain. Her and Lisa are going to be played as the villains because they're the most. They're the outspoken too, but they don't care whose feelings they hurt. So that's going to be their edit, I think.
I see Mary also as the comedic relief because do you notice they always pan to her or flash to her when she's doing a stupid face?
Yeah.
You started the mess and then you're like, oh, or I don't know what that is. And it's just like, come on now. Really?
And she does know how to act clueless, even though she's smack in the middle of the drama. She knows how to be very clueless about it.
The only thing that I agreed with her during that dinner where they were going after Lisa was when she said, I didn't know a thumbs up means F you. Like, that was the only thing I agreed with her on because I was like, wait, when did that change? Because I've been saying F you to people for a long time now.
Right.
Like, I think I even said it to you that night in a text, Jamal. Like, I was like, wait, what?
I'm right there with you there because I think I've been telling people F you.
Yeah. Well, we haven't because Jamal looked it up and he eased my concerns that night. And it was just like, yeah,
So does it mean F you?
no, it means okay or gotcha. It's not derogatory at all.
It was reaching. So before we go, Debbie, Hermia like to know our 3 favorites, and I'll let you go first.
I like Heather. I like Whitney. I just need to remember her name. And Meredith.
All right, for me, my top 3's changed a little bit since the before season. Before season, it was Jen, Meredith, and Lisa. Now for me, I have to say it's Meredith, Whitney, and then I'm gonna say Lisa. Jen fell out for me after this episode over the whole like, if I'm not friends with him, you can't. Yeah, get out of here with that. Next.
Yeah.
I am with you, Jamal. Mine is Whitney first, then what's her name? The one who
Meredith.
yes, her. Then torn between Jen and Lisa because I like a bit of sassy on my plate. So
Like, I don't mind Heather, but I need a little bit more from Heather. That's all. I just need to see a little bit more. I need
I
her.
think
Heather needs Avion. I need her to get quenched and then come back and give me more. That's all.
But
I want her to talk about her marriage though, because I
Mm-hmm.
think she carries a lot of baggage from that,
Oh, she does.
plus her duty to the religion. And I think it colors all of her thoughts and interactions with these ladies.
Whose marriage?
Heather.
But
The one,
Heather has no marriage.
no, her former
Oh,
marriage.
her
Right.
her
Because it's been
marriage.
5 years and I don't think she's really gotten past that man leaving her.
Right.
But it happens. You can be stuck in a previous relationship that ended a long time ago, or in a previous situation, and
Mhm.
she's still trying to be try to show she's a good Mormon and whatnot. So I got a
Mhm.
bit confused. Like, are you excommunicated or not? Are you Mormon or not? It's a
But
bit
the,
confusing.
so got the two from based on what I can understand, she is still Mormon, but she was excommunicated. So Debbie said her husband left her. So I have a feeling something happened, and
Mhm.
within her community, she's very shamed because the gay family is like they're worth billions and they're really like probably one of the most affluent Mormon families. So for her to get basically kicked out, I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure she's lost some of her luster, but I think she hasn't been completely booted out because her family is one of the pioneers in Salt Lake City, so she still has some standing, but she has fallen a pretty long way. Not as far as
Mhm.
Whitney due to the situation, but I'm sure people still shun her behind that, and she's still carrying that emotional baggage because she prides herself on being a Mormon and she prides herself on her family. So having part of that taken away from her, I think emotionally, I agree with Debbie. It's still haunting her a little bit.
Mhm.
So does that mean she can still get married to someone else and go back to church and still have good standing?
Let's see. Give me a
'Cause
moment.
that's the dynamic I'm trying to understand. Because I thought if you're a Mormon, you're not supposed to get a divorce.
You aren't. And I
It.
think that's part of the conflict for her.
Mm-hmm.
She did
And
what the Mormon dictated to her. Like she married the right person, she had a family, and then he divorced her. And in
okay, so
her head, it's like you should stay in a marriage whether you're happy or not, because that's what being a good Mormon is. But he broke that.
okay,
Yeah.
so that's because now I'm trying to figure it out. So that has the ex-husband been also excommunicated along with her, or he still in the church?
I have no idea. And that's an excellent question because then if it's only her, then that's a sexist thing to do because both of them came from prominent Mormon families,
Mm-hmm.
and he's the one
Okay.
who filed for the divorce, I believe.
Okay. So here's what I just found because before
Mm-hmm.
we end, I want to find this. Okay. So basically, Heather said she and her husband divorced in 2015. On What Happens Live, Gay said neither she nor her husband were excommunicated from the Mormon Church after the divorce. You can get divorced civilly in the Mormon Church. Gay said the biggest challenge to her life after her divorce was that she never got out of bed.
Okay, now
So yeah, the way they are playing it out on TV, you would think that Whitney and Heather were excommunicated, but it looks like just Whitney was.
I think
then
Heather just has challenges with the dictates of the religion because she's
Okay.
like, why can't I like rap music? What's so bad about it? Why can't I like gay people? What's so bad about them? Why can't I, possibly have a relationship with a person of color? Like, what's so bad with them? I think that's part of her struggle, with being Mormon.
Got it. She says I'm still having a very very difficult time. I didn't know anyone that was Mormon and divorced and single and happy. Okay.
Mm.
so I think they need to take us back because I feel like we missed a class somewhere with all this. You can be divorced and still be a Mormon, or you're divorced and you're excommunicated. Because how it's being sold is if you're not married or if you get divorced, you're supposed to be excommunicated entirely from the church, right?
Right.
So then, does it mean if I am part of the first family that founded this religion, then I get special treatment because I am part of the founding family, or is this across board? Because that's the thing I'm trying. That's the whole dynamic I'm trying to understand, which I can't seem to understand. For the what's her name? Whitney part, that is understandable. She cheated with someone, then she got divorced and got married to this someone. That's a bit clear. Like she got
Mhm.
excommunicated on the grounds of cheating and then going ahead to marry this person. That's understandable. But what I'm trying to understand is this Heather business though. I think she needs to tell us a bit more or show us a bit more on that.
I think it'll come slowly because I don't even think Heather understands her emotional baggage herself. And hopefully this show can help her like walk her way through it because she has a lot of issues, a lot of unresolved emotional issues. I think she's a good person. I just don't think she believes herself that she's a good person.
Got it. Um, just to end on this, my apologies. So I
Mhm.
just been just doing a little research because this is to me this is very interesting. So, is divorce okay? Am I looking at the wrong question? Okay, if any of our members are found to be practicing plural marriage, they are excommunicated. The most serious penalty the church can impose. Not only are those involved in direct violation of civil law, they're in violation of this law of church. I'm going to do more research on this. I'm just going to add it. I'm just going to dig deeper because I agree with Dr. Tua. There seems there are gaps in Heather's story that we kind of have to
Mhm.
do research and like kind of fill in. I like Dr. Tua said, I understand about the whole Whitney situation with her like cheating on her husband. I get that. I see why she was booted, but the fact that Heather got booted, got divorced, but still a Mormon, not excommunicated, interesting to me. So I'm just gonna look into it. I want to know.
I wonder how much information she can relay because if her husband is this like really is from this really powerful and moneyed up family, I wonder if she can release as much information as we would want her to, if that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense.
Got it.
I, I
Okay. Yeah.
feel I feel it would be just okay if they came out and said you're given special treatment because you're part of the founding family. That would be a sufficient answer for everyone, and we will not ask any more questions. I if that's what she came out and say instead of um making it seem all confusing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, I found a link, so I'm gonna read through this and make notes on it, and then
Mhm.
we can come back and hopefully I can like fill in some details because there's a lot to it. So
Okay.
Okay.
That would be good.
Well, I think we have dissected this episode and part of the third episode
hmm
enough. So we're going to wrap it up. Any final thoughts, Gatatua?
I had given up on it, but I think I'm going to continue watching because it's gotten a bit interesting. I feel Mary should get a stylist soon because yeah, just because you're wearing brands and labels and everything does not make you look good. She
That's
needs to get
true.
someone to tell her how to dress up or teach her how to dress up. Then for Jen, I want to see how the dynamics of that relationship, her husband and herself go, because I've heard some rumors and I don't know how true or false they are. So I want to see how that unfolds. I hope um, Heather is going to give us more than whatever she's giving us currently, so that it explains her situation
hmm
better. Because I feel she's a good person. It's just that she's not explaining herself better, and she's stuck emotionally in her current situation. She's stuck there, whether it's the religion or the marriage and the divorce.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's all I'm looking forward to. For Mary, I don't know. Maybe I'll like her for comical relief, but outside the show, my mind is just stuck on what she does outside the show.
Cool. Well, hopefully we'll see you next week. We're still working on the schedule because of the American Thanksgiving holiday. But hopefully there aren't too many repeats next week. I didn't even think about that, Jamal.
I mean, right. I think we'll talk about behind the scenes and let our subs know like what the schedule is going to be like, stuff like that. So yeah, we'll definitely be in touch, guys.
It's cool. You guys have a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Tua.
And have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, Jamal.
Hey, this was good. Like we covered 2 episodes. I like the pacing of the show so far. I would love to do. I'm hoping they give us a little bit more like as it goes. I would like to know more about Heather, like you said, her marriage. Like I would like to see like what the real issue between Jen and Mary is. I just feel there's something more than just this whole hospital business, and if it's not, I'm disappointed in Jen because it was a waste of 2.5 episodes.
But you know what? The good thing about this, I don't know about you, but I'm so grateful we have new characters to get to meet and learn their names and where they're from and their families, their kids. And I like the fact that at the end of every one of these episodes, I have more questions.
Yes, exactly.
You know, it's just not very clear cut for me. I'm learning something about the religion, you know, which I didn't think I would like at the beginning because I'm not very religious. But I'm finding it very interesting.
I think the reason why you're liking it because it's not so much religion for religion's sake. It's more about the social dynamics and how religion plays into it. I think that's for me. I think that's the most interesting part. Like, wow, you guys aren't all Mormon. Like, there's difference, and you guys have your own issues within the Mormon like society. So I think that's the most interesting thing part of me. Because it's not so religion based. It's like, okay, we have this group of ladies, but they all relate to Mormonism and they all have their own history, but in different aspects. I think that's the really biggest takeaway for me. That's why I think I'm enjoying it.
And one of my biggest questions is at the end of this episode, well, the 3rd episode. Everybody, you can go on Bravo, and it's loaded on YouTube right now. You can see episode 3, which was supposed to be airing next week. You could see that ahead of time. My biggest question is, what's up with Whitney's dad's hair? If he was a hairdresser, what did he do? Oh my God.
I think he might have done it himself and when he was in one of his like situations. So I'm going to give him that. Because I don't think anyone would do that to him on purpose.
Or admit it.
That too.
Oh, jeez. Okay, my friend.
All right.
Everyone, thanks for joining us. Please subscribe, hit the like button. We really appreciate it. It helps us with those
algorithms.
Yeah, it just helps us get out to more people so that we can have more chatsters come into the chat and hear more opinions on these silly shows. So don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and don't forget your notifications. See you next time and have a great weekend, everybody.
Bye, everyone.